Hey everyone, it's Jim, Victor Alpha 7, Sierra Hotel Golf in beautiful Chilliwack. Yesterday wasn't so nice, and I had some issues getting my DRAWS hat working, but I got some good content for a later video on the DRAWS. For now, I want to show you how we're going to configure our BBQ on our Build-A-Pie. Let's get at it. Okay everyone, let's get at it. So we've got a pretty fresh Build-A-Pie image here. Haven't done any configuring other than the Build-A-Pie image configuration. So we're just going to immediately jump into the Bpq Config Generator. Now there shouldn't be an existing one. Oh, look at that. File written, not written. Okay, so maybe there is a default file here that the Build-A-Pie puts in. Yes, there is. Look at that. Let's just take a quick look at it. Right, so this must be just a default configuration that gets added here. That's great. I'm going to save this, make a backup of it actually. So let's just click on this, rename it. I'm just going to call it BAK. Say OK. Let's just cancel here. Now if we try to read, there is nothing. Perfect. Okay. Simple, we want that automatically. That adds a bunch of default configuration variables we don't need to worry about. Node call, that's going to be your call sign. Kind of went over this on my first video on BBQ. But I have done a little bit of reading, and I've got some new information to add here. So I'm going to put a link in the video here to a document that I'm referring to. It speaks of a very simple node with 3 ports. Those ports are going to be an AXIP port, a Telnet port, and a radio port. Okay, so we're going to start with the first port, the AXIP port. So I'm going to add port number 1. AXIP is an option in the drop. No options to, no configuration values. So we're just going to save that. Edit and config and replace the sample map line with your map info. So I'm just going to take a second and try to explain how I understand what this AXIP is for. This really allows nodes to be interconnected through the internet. So any node that isn't reachable for me via RF, I potentially could link to it through the internet. In our scenario today, I'm going to keep it simple. We're just going to put this in there for future possibilities, let's say. And in this map table here, I am just going to blank out all of these options, hit save. That should finish our AXIP port. Let's move on to the second port. Now the second port is going to get added automatically as we add in some of these applications. So let's start adding applications first. We want to do the web management interface, so we need a username and password. This is the system operator's username and password. Good practice is to use your call sign for this, VA7SHG. Password can be anything you want. For this demo, I'm just going to use pass. And then let's tick web management interface. You see it automatically puts in this Telnet port, which is what we want as our second port, the Telnet port. This provides us system operator access via the command line if we want. We've enabled the web management, so I'll show you how we get into that in a moment. It also provides us with access to the WinLink gateway. So we're able to retrieve emails from WinLink through this node. So let's continue adding our applications. I'm going to enable the BBS. Notice it adds a line down here in the application area. I'm going to enable chat. Again, adds another line in the application area. I'm not going to enable APRS, Digi, or iGate. I don't understand it enough yet. Hopefully it'll be the subject of a soon-to-be video. And finally, we want to enable Cms Access. So let's tick that off. Also adds another additional line at the bottom here. And we need to enter our CMS call sign, VA7SHG, and our WinLink password. I'm just going to put pass in here for now, but I will fix this up before I do a demo. This will be your WinLink password. You need to make sure that you've asked for CMS access for your call sign. Otherwise, this will fail. Okay, so far we have 3 applications, our BBS, our chat, and our RMS set up. We have 2 ports. Both of them are internet-based, the AXIP port, the Telnet server port. Let's go into the Telnet server port just to take a quick look at the configuration variables here. In particular, I'm going to point out this HTTP port. Now this port 8080 conflicts with PAT that is automatically installed with the Build-A-Pi. So it leaves us with 2 choices. We can either change this port here and just be aware of it when we want to do the web configuration or web management for LinBPQ, or we can leave it at 8080 and just be aware that we don't want to have PAT running at the same time that we have BPQ running. It's up to you. My approach is going to be to leave it at 8080, and I'm just going to shut down PAT. I'll show you that in a moment. Let's save this file. Let's add one more port. This is going to be our RF port. We're going to use Direwolf for this. So let's add a port. Here we're going to choose KISS TCP. The way Direwolf is set up, it's available on the local host, which is 127.0.0.1 at port number 8001. So we've got a few things to change here. So first thing, I'm going to change the ID just to be something a little more descriptive. I'm going to call it Direwolf VHF. Host name is correct, local host. TCP port, like I said, that should actually be 8001. In this scenario, we only have 1 channel, unlike my previous video where I showed you a 2-channel setup. So channel A will be correct here. Let's save that. So now we have all 3 ports set up, and we have 3 applications set up. And one more thing I want to show you here is in advanced configuration. Again, we're not going to do APRS or IP gateway, none of that yet, but info messages. Here's where we can customize some of the displays that get displayed when people log into your BBS or into your node. The info message is like your welcome message. If someone types in info, it'll tell them all about what is available on your node. I also want to ID so that every 30 minutes, I'm going to ID my station interval, put that every 30 minutes. A beacon, I don't want a beacon until I get APRS going, so I'm just going to put a 0 in there so it doesn't interval or it doesn't beacon ever. And here's our connect text. This will be our connection string when someone connects to us. Okay, we'll want to hit save here. Then we're going to go back to basic configuration and we're going to write our configuration file. Say OK, close out of that. I'm going to close my Explorer here. I'm not sure why Conky, when it first starts, kind of is hidden by the toolbar there. Easy way to fix that, just start Conky again. Don't even need to quit it, just start it again. It'll find its way down. Okay, if you remember, I said we're going to keep LinBPQ on port 8080 and we need to stop PAT. You notice down here in Conky it's showing PAT is still active. So let's start up our PAT menu, go into Manage PAT WinLink, PAT Login Logout. Let's just log out. That'll stop PAT. Perfect. Main menu. Now let's get ready to test out our BPQ install. I'm going to start packet modem first. That's going to start up Direwolf. Also going to try and open up PAT. Of course, we've stopped PAT already. Let's open up a terminal. CD to LinBPQ. And then we're going to type in /LinBPQ and hit enter. Notice it's the first time we're starting it. So lots of new files are being created. Chat config file is getting created. LinMail is getting created. WP config getting created. And if we flip back to what should have been our PAT window, it's now showing our BPQ node software. So that is active and running. Okay everyone, so I'm going to jump onto my DRAWS Hat here. I'll have a different video here in the future. I had a bit of troubles here and had to start from fresh yesterday when I was making this video. I got everything working as expected, and I'm super happy that I got some content here I hope to share. Anyways, let's get at this. So I'm going to do in the DRAWS world, it's just call. On your Build-A-Pi, it'll be AX call. And you need to give it a port. In my situation, I want UDR1, which is what my packet radio is attached to. And then I need to provide a call sign, VA7SHG-1. Let's give it a try. And there you go, you can hear it going off. Enter my name. And that is the BBS. So I've connected, I'll show you this here very quickly. I'm going to say bye here. That's how we're going to disconnect. Okay, so first time I connected to VA7SHG-1, which connected me to the BBS. This time I'm going to connect to VA7SHG-4. This should connect me directly to the chat portion. There you can see VA7SHG's chat server. Okay. /B to leave here. /B actually returns me to the node, so I'm going to say bye again. And one more call for demo purposes. I'm going to connect to the WinLink port, or the WinLink call sign. And you see this drops me right into the CMS that I'd be able to log into. I'm just going to do B for bye here. And that's it. We're back to off the node. I hope this proved to be useful for you. Give it a like, give me a subscribe, check out some of my other videos. Hope to have a new one for you soon. This is VA7SHG, wishing you 7-3.